What's going on, everyone? I hope you're having an awesome day so far, and welcome back to another episode of Chuck's Customs. If you've been following this project, then you already know what's going on. And if you're new, welcome! I highly suggest you check out the last few videos. That way you're kind of up to speed on what's going on. But if you don't have time for that, let me just fill you in real quick. We're stuffing a 12-valve Cummins into a little square body GMC Sierra. It's been an awesome project so far, but we still have a lot to do. In the last episode, you watched me install the hydroboost, the brake lines, and the fuel tank. Now let me quickly show you what we're going to be getting into in this episode, and then we can get to work. Now if I could keep air conditioning in this truck, it would be amazing. But right now, it's kind of looking like an old person crossing the street. It's old, it probably doesn't work, and it's in the way. Oh my God. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to remove it for now. But maybe someday we'll put it back in. But once it's out of the way, we can hoist this engine up and figure out how it's gonna sit in its new home. And that's the part that I'm really excited about. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's rip that air conditioning out of there. Found a penny from 1972. Score. Out of the way, we can focus on what's next. Now I know I said that once we're done removing the air conditioning, we can stick the engine in the truck, but there's one more thing that we gotta do first before we can try all of that. Because I know for a fact we're gonna have to cut the firewall, we need to get all the carpet and insulation out of the way. Did he just say he's gonna cut the firewall? Unfortunately, yes. But that's because a lot of people say that when you're doing this engine swap, you really only have two options. Option 1, cut the firewall. Option 2, do a 4-inch body lift, which I really don't want to do. Personally, I think body lifts are kind of ugly and they just look cheap. You can see too much of the frame exposed underneath the truck. So with that being said, let's remove that carpet and expose all of the rest. My gosh, looks like something out of the Flintstones. Today's episode is brought to you by Tetanus Flakes. I love starting every day off right with a hearty bowl of tetanus flakes. Just remember, kids, if it's not giving you lockjaw, it's not real tetanus flakes. Tetanus Flakes, available at a junkyard near you. But enough joking around. Don't actually eat rust. Alright guys, this is it. The moment we've all been waiting for. We're about to lift this bad boy up and try to put it into the truck so we can find out where we need to cut that firewall to get it to fit just right. But in order to lift this engine up, it's pretty darn heavy. So an engine hoist just won't work. You know, the arm with the chair. No, I don't trust it. I picked it up before with one and it was creaking and moaning and making all sorts of scary noises. I'm never doing it again. Plus, I don't really have access to a forklift right here, so I made this. What you see here is a giant A-frame that I constructed in this tiny one-car garage. It's made up of 3 2x12s, all bolted together in numerous places, held up by a 4x4 on either end, and then held in place by 2 more 4x4s, one on either side. And each one of those is bolted right into the concrete of the floor. We then wrapped a chain around the beam, hooked a chain hoist up to it, and hooked the chain hoist up to the engine. So I think it's pretty safe to say that this puppy ain't going anywhere, and it holds the engine without any problem at all, so I'm happy with it. Alright, enough talk. I'm getting anxious and I'm sure you guys are too, so let's get to it. This might be the scariest thing I've ever done. This is 1,400 pounds worth of engine and transmission. It's just dangling 2 feet in the air. And I'm standing right next to it. Let's keep going. As it looks right now, we might need to drain the transmission oil pan so we can get rid of this dipstick, because right now it's the only thing stopping us from getting past this motor mount. As of right now, it looks like the transmission tunnel is going to be the first thing to get snipped out of there. So let's get working on that, then we can keep pushing this thing in. Oh my gosh, it's so close, so close. I have to cut the firewall again real quick because this little lobe is getting in the way, and same on the other side. I only had to cut a little bit out. Oh my gosh, this engine better fit, I swear. It's... man, you take up a lot of space. Alright guys, this is just about it. The engine is sitting in a really nice spot. It's not making contact anywhere with the frame or the firewall. There's only one spot that I'm not super comfortable with, and that's where the fuel solenoid is sitting really close to the brake master cylinder. We're going to roll with it for now because that side of the engine actually needs to come down a little bit, but worst case scenario, we have to relocate it. So now it's time to start fabricating those motor mounts. Once those are done, we can start working on that transmission crossmember and wrap this puppy up. Let's get to it. gosh, you guys. The engine and transmission are officially mounted in the truck. I feel so relieved to have gotten this part of the project done. Almost done. Not quite. There's still a few little things that we need to do, but we'll get to that in a future episode because it's just little stuff that needs to be tweaked. But I just can't believe what I'm seeing right now. My dream engine is in the engine bay of my dream truck. It's an incredible feeling. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys though. With this episode, I almost reached a breaking point. Normally my episodes take about 2 to 3 days max to film, and then a few hours to edit. But this one in particular took me almost over a week just to film. It seemed like everything was fighting me every step of the way. The engine mounts alone took a full day to do. The transmission crossmember took 2 days. As you can see, tools kept breaking, bits kept going dull. I had to go through like 10 cutoff wheels to get through that 1/4-inch steel, but it was all worth it. I feel so energized. I want to keep working, but I can't because I have things to do right now and then I have to go to work tomorrow. But for now, this episode has taken way too long. I'm sorry it was such a long one, guys. There's just so much to try to fit into this episode. So I'm going to cut it off here. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you liked what you saw in this episode, go ahead, show that thumbs up button some love. If you didn't like it, or if you have comments or suggestions for anything that you might want to see in the future or anything I didn't cover very well, go ahead and leave it in the comments section. I would love to hear from you guys. And if you want to see what I'm going to be getting into in the next episode, you got to smash that subscribe button. So thank you again so much, guys, for watching, and I really look forward to seeing you next time on another episode of Chuck's Customs.